welcome to the Old World Fanatics, your Warhammer fantasy podcast to quench your hobby thirst for all things the Old World. I'm one of your hosts, Gommo, and I'm back as usual, finally, a day late again.
Finally,
with Andrew
2 days late, I would argue.
Yeah, technically a day late
Guys,
from a day late. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Hey, we're 5 seconds early, I'll tell you that, because we clicked.
True. So we're only 47 hours, 59 minutes, and 55 seconds late.
Yeah, that's right.
It's too much maths, Josh. Jeez.
That's some solid maths within the first 39 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I think I'm a lot more well rested than either of you because it sounds like you're both absolutely exhausted from different things.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't complain, but after what Andrew just told us that he was out 2 days working in this heat we got up here.
The post-holiday, it's draining.
It wouldn't have even been a problem. It's just the last night I didn't sleep. I don't know what happened. I just was up every hour. And then, yeah, it's only a time zone difference of like an hour. But for me now it feels like 10 and at night. And you're just like, oh, God. So, yeah, but anyway, it's all good. We're back. I'm back. I'm ready to chat some Old World. And, see what you guys have been up to. What are we going to talk about then, boys? We're going to talk a little bit about tournament packs and how to analyze them and critique them and scheme. Andrew's probably good at that sort of stuff. But look, I wanted to, I guess Oldhammer released theirs, and they always do a pretty good job of mixing things up. And so I was going to ground the discussion in that, but it's not a tournament review of their upcoming, what's it called again? What's it called? Fatal Fall. It's not technically a review of Fatal Fall, but I'll bring it up if we want to, walk through the examples and stuff. But I'm totally open if you guys have got other, packs you wanted to bring up or whatever. Go for it. It's not specific to that one, but that's the idea that we wanted to have a chat about in the first half.
It's good baseline.
And then obviously our usual tournament. Patreon questions and chats after that in half time. So. Do you guys have any other shout outs? I've got a couple that I want to just lay the groundwork on, but then we can get into it. But did you have anything else to add to the episode that I should know about?
Not beyond what we're already planning, I guess.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Nothing came up that I don't know.
All the events happening. No.
Okay, well, anyway, that's all cool.
No, we haven't had a second edition announcement yet.
Okay, fair enough. If you are in our live stream, I know we're not our normal time, but thanks, guys. If you are in there, I can see Silver Dave there, who we should be playing. Actually, Andrew, are you playing him on Sunday?
I am.
Ah, okay.
I also spoke to Dave. I'm like, we need to actually get him on the show sometime. We need to get back to the guests. We had quite a little run of guests there.
Maybe
and then,
we had 2 weeks in a row of guests.
Yeah, I know.
Just invite him to next week if he wants.
Yeah,
he can come next week. We'll chat. Okay, let me do that as a shout out first. We have one spot still left. Andrew, I, and Cam, the dentist, are running the Broadmeadow Brawl on Sunday in Newcastle on the 15th of Feb. It's just a small one. Our
Sunday?
First. Is it
Sunday? It is Sunday.
Yeah,
I keep thinking it's Saturday. I'm telling everyone it's Saturday.
Hilarious.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm all over the shop. I'm all over the shop.
It is Sunday, right? See how good
yeah.
First time tournament organisers.
I'm telling my
What's
family.
going on? What are you guys doing? Isn't it in like this weekend?
It's this weekend.
Either 3 days or 4 days.
Yeah, but I'm baking out in the sun all day, and then my wife asks me questions, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It's Sunday. It is Sunday.
Yeah, it's this Sunday. And so, but we do have one spot left. So if you are around the Newcastle, Sydney area and you want to come along, there is a bunch of people coming up from Sydney. And then obviously, I don't know what it is. It's probably 2/3 from up here and 1/3 from down there, maybe something like that. So I'm sure there is some, carpool or just come up. It'll be fun for a, very low key, relaxed 3-game. 2,000 points, standard sort of stuff. So, wanted to shout that out because we do have that one spot open. Prefer not to have a buy, but we'll see how we go, I guess. With that, also, if you are on the chat, big like the stream. That really helps. Like, subscribe if you haven't been here before. Obviously, we're usually here Mondays, maybe Tuesdays, and now it's a Wednesday, which is very, very random. But, That was my fault, as usual.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that. If you are a patron, you'll get your Patreon questions answered at halftime and our patented shout-outs. And if you're interested in how to become a patron, the usual, patreon.com/oldworldfanatics. I guess that's all the big shout-outs I have at the moment. We can get on to our topic if you guys want.
Can I shout out my event too, please?
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
Or just
No.
the orders. No. Start of the topic. No, Josh. Wait to your hobby. Wait for your hobby time.
Stop being greedy.
Because mine's the battle march on the 28th of February on the Saturday, not the Sunday, the Saturday. And it had a few signups. So I've got like 8 signups now. So there's definitely plenty of spots for more. And interestingly, so I've actually going to use the Old World tournament. So I'm sort of getting that going through. But looking at the people that are signing up, a lot of them are really new players, which is really cool.
Well, we have at least 2 new people coming to ours. I think that one person who's never played in a tournament. I think they were going to try get some other friends up, but I don't think that's happened. And then at least one other. So how does that? Did you think that's the battle march aspect, Josh, to yours?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's a battle march. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So doesn't look like to be honest, most of them look like they're relatively new, which I think is I think it's the format must be attracting that kind of player in. And I am trying to keep it fairly soft as well. So I keep occasionally getting some random lists from other people that haven't actually signed up but are considering it, and I'm just like, dude, no, you can't take all that stuff. So it's trying to be fairly soft and fun sort of lists and fairly Warhammery, which I feel like that's the best way of playing Battle March, really.
You just need that. It doesn't take much to have something slightly OP, doesn't it? I mean, I haven't even played it.
Not on that level.
Not on that level. Yeah. Which is why I've like one thing is trying to comp down the amount of skirmishes by just you got a limit of 1 skirmishing unit. I think is quite helpful. You don't want a whole skirmishing armies and that type of thing. I tried to make the objectives fairly chunky victory point wise, and hopefully that'll sort of encourage objective play in the battle march and maybe make it if there's some imbalance in units, it doesn't matter so much if you're mainly trying to gun for control of strategic locations and that type of thing. I've got a whole bunch of hobby done regarding it, so I'll definitely be showing that off
Josh
at the end.
Just, if it wasn't for Josh, this whole week wouldn't have got done. So big thank you for Josh. He's held it all together.
Seconded.
He's done the thumbnails. He's very good. Love it.
It's funny, isn't it? Like, I think it's the 3 of us. Like, sometimes we all go in and out of hobby slumps or just have other stuff going on. But as long as one of us is on the ball, the podcast. Well, I mean,
runs. I was going to do. I'll do it at my hobby time. But I mean, to me, it's just. I mean, I've been doing a lot. It is hobby. It's just coming, and that's the fruits of my labor in hobby will be coming out very soon.
Incredible fruit.
So I just want to thank everyone, and I'll do it at
big, beautiful fruits.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway. Cool. Okay, with that, so like I said, I've got the Oldhammer pack up here, but we don't need to particularly go through it in detail or anything. I just wanted to use it. I don't know why that is not the screen that I'm looking at. Great. Sorry. Let me bring that back down. Which screen is that? Well, I've got 2 versions of the document open. That's why. Sorry. Where did you want to start? Like the idea of this topic was, a pack comes out. Obviously, you've decided to go to it, or maybe you are deciding to go to it.
Are you guys going to this?
What is the process? I have signed up. Yep.
Nah, I think Cam and
I just sign up to these now, and I'll work it out. If I can't make it, I'll just go to the next one instead or something. So. I keep noting, just to talk about Oldhammer for a second, I keep noting that the player count keeps going up as well. I mean, this is getting insane. 48 players. And they've also got their 2-day coming up around this. I think it's a similar time now, isn't it? Didn't it move forward? We can have a
The
look
true
at that
date.
later,
No, I
but-
think I pushed back to. I think I saw it was July 18th.
Oh, did I get
19th.
confused? Maybe it's the other way. Okay, rightio. Cool.
Mm.
He did do another
Yeah.
one dayer that got pushed forward. Like I think he's added a one dayer. That's a bit before.
Oh,
that.
there you go.
that's
John's saying
what it
July
was.
now, yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
but
okay,
yeah, the
rightio.
2 days in July. Yeah,
Mm.
Oh,
Which
it
is actually
winter-
not
the
far
winter
off.
One got moved. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, which is not
No,
far
it's-
off. Like where
Mm.
Castle Assault would be.
Yeah. Who
Um,
knows? We'll work it out. Yeah.
So yeah,
It's just awesome. How,
I've got to
how
pick
busy-
one. I've got to pick one interstate trip, guys. I don't know. I can
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
both.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Hey, I didn't. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a whole different discussion, but we'll need to sort that out. Anyway,
Sorry,
we'll keep going because
I'm
international visitors
tangenting
like
your.
part
I'm tangenting your discussion. Yes, let's go.
so
Broad
the
picture.
idea. I just wanted to have a chat. Obviously, because this came out, it's one of these tournament series that John and the guys always throw in some interesting scenarios and stuff like that. They've been ahead of the curve most of the time, I reckon, in like comp and things like that, or using things like renegades and stuff like that. So that it's definitely not like if you think we're just going to talk out of the book match play, that's not what I'm really talking about. What I'm talking about is you get this comp pack. How do you approach it? What's your you guys and the listeners and the people in the chat, what is your approach to, what do you look at first and, what's the whole thing? So I thought originally I was just going to start, well, let's talk about goals, like in terms of why would you even go to the tournament in the first place? And do you tend to look at it from a point of view of placement? Because I think this is the thing. If you're a player, are you thinking about placement? Where do you want to sit? And I'm not saying podium, but I'm saying like, are you trying to win 3 out of 2, 2 out of 3, sorry, or 3 out of 5, or are you trying to just not bottom out, or are you trying to paint an army? That type of thing. Like I think these are valid things to think about before you even delve into the pack.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if you had any thoughts on the overall goals of what you'd even consider before you even open the pack, like in terms of a tournament.
That's
Man.
very in-depth.
Or is it just go have a drink?
Yeah.
I mean, these are the things, right?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it can just be there are certain tournaments that you go to every year, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
schedule your calendar around that. You that's you're part of
Yep.
this community, and those tournaments sort of all the scene get together, and that's, to be honest, that's often why I go to a lot of the specific ones.
And see, like, this is the way ASP approaches it. He says, what, you think about winning less than all the games? So this is the thing. Everyone's got their own way of approaching it. And I think it's pretty valid. I think what we'll probably steer towards more on this is if you are trying to maybe not win all the games, but, you're not just there to roll dice. You're going to look at this pack and go, well, how do I level up from last time? That type of thing. So I just wanted to ground that and then sort of get the goals that, I guess tell people there is reasons to go other than to try and win every game. There's valid reasons to go to a tournament. I particularly use them a lot to get a bloody army painted. I just think that's so motivating. But it is nice to go, okay, well, now I've done all that. How do I approach a pack? What am I looking for? Let's go through sort of the tips and tricks of what you should be looking for, I guess, is sort of the biggest part of the discussion. So,
and I think probably something to note there is like, just because you're not going to aim for a podium because, doesn't mean you don't want to bring a list that won't be competitive. Like you're like, all right, I'm not going to aim for a podium and bring something super meta, but I want something that I can still win a few games with and have fun, and my opponent still has fun. So yeah, like you said before, I think that's just part of that. Yeah, that motivation. I think between the three of us, all three of us are probably similar, where we're pretty competitive people. But there are those groups that they just come along and like Todd loves just wants to come along and throw dice,
throw squigs at people. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I
there
love
for fun.
it. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, like 100%.
Yeah.
I do think, I mean, I had a little bit of a thought in there that there might be like, and maybe we do this right at the end, like if you had to give a fairly new player, just one tip after we talk through this, like what would be that just to help, because you do get those ones where you play, you line up across the table and you go, oh, there's nothing in this list that can do anything, against you, because it's not even, it's not really even built for any of it. And so I think it'd be interesting just to, what's the most important thing there? But yeah, cool. So what do you guys do? Like when a pack is usually made up of, obviously scenarios, there's comp, there's, maybe comp, I should say. There's, the army composition in terms of size and stuff, but there also might be other restrictions. There's probably FAQ type style, like weird things, like maybe they've actually changed the rules for this comp for certain things. And then there's soft stuff in there as well, usually around like painting or sportsmanship or stuff like that. Where do you guys go straight to? Like, is there something, do you read top to bottom, or do you go like where's your first thing when you open a pack?
It's a good question. I mean, I would like to say top to bottom, but yeah, comp is probably where I would go to first.
Yeah,
or maybe
right.
army size.
Yeah,
maybe army size. I like army size, but yeah,
guess
comp.
I'd see that as a top level thing, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it can massively affect the how the actual event feels, what type of armies you play, and what time of players you encounter.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I mean,
so much of the culture of the event.
Yeah. So, like, are you talking about this type of page, Josh, where you've got like, they're listing 2,000 points, no allies, that's all pretty standard, renegade pack. Interestingly, the first thing I pick up, a lot of things, again, Oldhammer's, well, they are now a tournament series, really. I think they've set some of that up in WhatsApp, but or Circuit or whatever it's called. But they've obviously been one of the people who have like fiddled around with that character limit a lot. Whereas usually, and so this is the first thing I picked up on this one. One of them was like, it's back to 1,000 points.
1,000,
It's actually very different for these guys. So it's almost, they have capped, hang on, they've capped the 500 for single. That's just standard rules.
Which is a standard. That's just standard. That's 25%. Because it's 2,000 points. It's not like it's almost like they meant to write 2,400 points for this and then just change it to 2,000 without changing the other restrictions that they would have had
now,
for 2,400.
Interesting, I think Josh hasn't seen this pack, Andrew. So I didn't realize that until I opened it up. So this is cool because Josh is going to discover it as we go. So on top of that, there's sort of fairly usual. I think that might be, I don't know. I can never tell what the rules are in match play, but it's just fairly standard unit selections. And then because of the FAQ that's already dropped, there's still a couple of army-specific comps that came in here. So Undeads can't take battle standard. That was what they had last time. And then vampire counts. This is different, I believe. Vampire counts can only take 3 units of ethereal. And then the Grand Cathay still has a comp here where you can take someone on it, like a character. But if you do, they take up, I guess, the 2 Sky Lantern slots that you would have in Rare. So they're still comping it. Now, the biggest thing on this, which is fun when people do this, is you get an extra 100 points if you take High Elves, Dark Elves, Skaven, Lizardmen, Ogre Kingdom, or Demons of Chaos. But it doesn't change that max character stuff. So it is interesting. That's the bit where the percentages change a little bit. So yeah, right out of the box, this page has got, I guess, a lot of things to think about if you have a couple of different armies, or you think, oh, hang on, what are people going to start bringing? Because that's the other thing to think about. It's like, what are you going to see in the field based on this page?
Yeah. I've got a bit of a weird sort of mentality when it comes to usually tournaments is when I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm keen to jump in a tournament, I'll almost like pre-select an army that I haven't played in a while or I feel like playing. Because you know how I go through, like, got my center heaps of times. Like, I'll play Vamps for a bit or I'll play High Elves for a bit. It's like sometimes I'll just have an army in my head before I even start. The only time I might change that is like you said, you go to the comp and it's just not going to work for that army. It's just going to be too restrictive. So things like Vamps, as I've previously mentioned with some of the like the Aussie comp, was so restrictive
Flying
on
restrictions is that one? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I find it really hard to bring an army for that, just with my play style. So, I just like maneuverability, and unfortunately so much stuff is fly within Vamps. But yeah, that's just the way I do it. Do you guys pre-select an army, or would you go through the comp?
I love how you said that to Josh.
Nah, well, that's it. Like, I suppose Josh has only got
it's changing now. He's
the
got
one army.
He's got a demon
Once
army.
that's
He's
true.
probably looking at this going, maybe I'll bring my demons,
Got a demon
Yeah.
army.
Bring my orcs.
Got me orc, my nomadic war happening.
Yeah.
I don't think a comp would ever affect what army I bring.
Yeah.
I think sometimes what my choice of army comes down to what I feel like playing, how much would I change it? Do I feel like having a change? Do I have anything available to make a change, or am I happy playing the current army? And do I want to do a hobby project and build an army?
Yeah, that's probably
And then the comp, I just work within whatever comp it is.
Yeah. Sweet.
I think I think you're right. I think we're on the same page, because I think I do the same thing. Occasionally I'll switch them around, but I would have probably already decided the army that I'm probably going to take, like 90% sure before the pack and the event even comes out, just because it's usually a hobby. I was building the Beastman for 9 months, whatever. So you sort of just knew that it was going to be Beastman, you know what I mean? And before that was like Tomb Kings or Orcs or something, and then Tomb Kings before that. So I haven't yet gone, let's look at the pack. Let's pick an army. I haven't done that.
Yeah.
No, not at all. If anything, the comp can provide quite an interesting puzzle. If you're like, oh, okay, this comp sort of hurts my army potentially a lot, depending on the most powerful builds, whatever, if that comp hits that army really hard, it can be quite fun trying to make a list within that restriction. That's not just a meta net list at all. You have to actually really think outside the box to get something that's functional. I think
that's sort of what you did on your first CanCon one, Josh, sort of, wasn't it? Like with the Errantry Crusade a little bit.
Yeah, it's actually. I can't remember the comp. I think I just did it for fun. I don't think there was any comp.
No, I don't think it was comp.
No, that was just me. But the Castle Salt one was, because that was like Aussie comp, so I did have to adapt to the Aussie comp for Castle. But CanCon not so much.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So yeah, obviously army comp is a big thing that people would look at. And again, it all depends on where you are. Right? If you've got one army, where you're going to take it. So it's just so different. But you do see some of the top. I will admit, like maybe it's not every top player does this for sure, because you do have the top. Like a lot of top players will play the same army for the whole whatever year or whatever, because they get really good at it. But you do then see a couple of usually I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud in my head. It probably feels like there's always like out of the top 5 or 6, 3 of them play the same army, and then the other 3 you can tell switch around, and they will move around an army based around the different tournament comps as they go. So and I'd probably put someone like Akhtar in that category, where he's very good at going, probably has every army, and he's able to go, okay, well, I am going to play Dwarves for a while, but like he'll switch from there to Vamps, Orcs, something like that, and he'll go do good at them. And then you got someone like, Mark, who he's just has played Wood Elves. That's all he's played.
Yeah.
And he sits up near the top. So it doesn't. You don't have to do either, to be honest. Just whatever you feel like it. But with this one, Andrew, just because to let Oldhammer tell the story. You've already sort of talked about Seaguard, and I thought you might have been coming to this, but maybe not. Would this have swayed you either way, seeing the extra 100 points? Or with Seaguard, you go, oh, damn, I need to spend more in core. Or like what?
Yeah, it's the core tax with Seaguard. It just kills you, and just not being able to take a Lord. But they should have had a special little, Minotaurs and Seaguard get an extra 500 points. It might have been slightly competitive.
That's cool.
No, that's all right. Yeah. I'm gonna go to a GT with Seaguard this year. There is play there. There's not podium play, but there is top half of the scoreboard play. So,
Mm.
you know, if I can get the top half with Seaguard, I reckon I'd be happy.
Didn't you? Oh, now I can't remember. Hang on. Have you taken them? Did you take them to? Did you play them?
I haven't taken
No,
them
you haven't
tournament.
taken them. No, you played them once with me. You just played them casually. Is that
Yeah,
what
I played it a couple of times, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
I've
that's
done like we got near a draw once, and then I think
Yeah.
the rest of the time you just stomped me. So yeah,
It's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So there's that.
What do you got before we
sorry.
move on? What do you guys thought about that thing about just adding an extra 100 points to those factions? Like, because that's an unusual. I mean, yeah, obviously Squarebase do it as a whole comp system.
Yep.
But just putting it in there as part of the comp, just a little extra 100 points. What do you think of that as a concept?
I mean, my gut. I don't overly love it. Just because. I mean, I don't know. It's weird because I've said this in the past. I don't actually care because it used to be a UTC, ETC used to do it sometimes for some of them.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
So it wasn't that big a deal. And I think if it's limited, it's probably okay. I guess what I'm not liking, obviously, my bias towards trying to track this stuff in our world rankings.
I was thinking about
it just means the more this pops up, the more I'll have to sort that crap out. But I think I wouldn't care if it was sort of consistent. And if it settles that way, then that's great. If it ends up different tournaments are all over the shop, it's just a bit, I don't know. It's not my first preference, put it that way. But again, I don't think a TO could put anything in where I'd go, I'm not fucking going to that because of that. Like, it wouldn't bother me.
No,
yeah,
yeah,
I
no,
looked at that.
it would never be a deal breaker.
Demons. I could bring.
And yeah,
demons. like I actually did think of that.
It's probably not going to help them that much, really. Like, yeah, it's fine. It's not like it's overdoing it or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, and maybe it is the way to go. I always think comp, like, for some reason, in my head, I'm always like, comp's got to be trying to bring down the top armies, trying to get them down to, like, that's what comp sort of, for me.
I think with the old world, just where it is, it's actually quite good.
I don't know if that's valid or not.
Well, no, I think you're right. I think it is a really good thing, but the problem is you only need to attack one or two of the top ones to bring them down a bit. But there is that sort of handful, which is what this is, because of the legacy, that they need to come up. So unfortunately, so I feel like you are trying. Like, I don't know if a TO can do anything.
They're mostly legacy, aren't they?
Yeah,
almost all of them. 5 out of 6. Oh, poor Hyle stuck down to legacy. Oh no.
It's such a shame. I don't like. There's plenty of lists I think that go all right for high elves. It's just, you know, you see the double dragons. They tend to go all right in certain.
Well, I feel like that's the problem with high elves, and I think that's what people get sick of. The high elves is they're like not like the high elf players get sick of it. That I have to bring the dragon, otherwise I just
You don't see too many winning Cathay armies that don't have lanterns either, so it's a lot one of those. But then they don't have that many troops to pick from, so I suppose, well, you know, what are you going to do? But it's one of those things.
Yeah, sorry, there's just some questions on that around. Oh man, maybe you guys can track that if you can. I think people were asking John about that 100 points, whatever, and with dwarfs and wood elves or something. I can't remember. So I just saw a question go past. No, that's cool. It's a good place to start. Painting, modeling, sportsmanship. I mean, I guess if we're talking to people,
can I just address this? So John put up, so dwarves and wood elves would have been in there, but they got, because the FAQ, they got some changes, which meant that they didn't need to be in there anymore.
It's interesting. Well, I wonder if that wood elf,
the wood elves just had that slight
100 points.
I was going to say, is that roughly equal to about 100 points?
Yeah.
There's a lot of maths in this episode of the first 29 minutes now, isn't there? If you're trying to do that. There's 2 or 3 points given for each type of figure almost that they might take.
Yeah, and if you have like 40, 50 figures, it's about 100 points.
Yeah, they probably did. So,
to be honest, you could have kept them in there and they'd still be struggling, you know, with extra 100 points on top of that bonus. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway,
so packs obviously have painting, modeling, sportsmanship. I mean, I don't think there's much to cover too much apart from the painting and modeling, which I think, depending on the pack, that can actually give you points or not. So I think that's just one thing to look out for if people are trying to build for a pack. This one, not so much, although you can't even podium, I think. How does this work? I can't remember now. You can't get prizes if you're not painted. I think that's what it is, unless it's sportsmanship and wooden hammer. So that's
which
just
is good. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
So you can still play, but
yeah, which I think is fair enough. But that's just obviously not technical. Just it's pretty easy to read and understand what that is. And then I think you get into obviously missions. This pack has missions and scoring it. So the missions we'll talk about in terms of, I think that's where the guts lie. When you start looking at the scenarios and how they, is it out of the box? Is it different? But particularly with the way Old World's moved to this scoring unit thing, again, depending on the comp and the pack, how are they ruling it differently? And I think this is a good example where it actually does change things a lot, because this pack and this whole series of Oldhammer, they do this really cool thing, I think, where they do, in addition to core units, actually it's normal core units can score. All infantry units can score as long as they've got unit strength 10 and aren't fleeing and all that sort of stuff. So I've seen a few more do this, but it's definitely not out of the book. But I think that is something that potentially you would, I guess what I'm getting at when you're reading packs is you see that and you go, oh, put that in the back of my mind. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are the little things you're ticking off to go, okay, any infantry. Okay, so what out of my army or armies, which infantry do I have that aren't even core that might be scoreable, which is different.
I've been thinking about this today a bit, actually. Now, so this essentially means that the only things that can't score are special and rare cav.
Is that true? Is there no infantry rares? And
so all core and all infantry.
Yeah.
So what troop type is to the left?
Yeah.
Chariots, cav?
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think so.
At what point do you just say everything can score?
Oh, I think you...
Like, is that a problem?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if my beast... I don't know. If my Dragon Ogres could score, it'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd be trying to squeeze in like 3 units of 4 Dragon Ogres, I reckon.
Yeah, that's it.
If you can let them score.
But how that'd still be over unit strength 10. Like, so wait, you got 4 of them. What are they?
Or maybe go to 5.
Each? So if you lose 1, you're no longer scoring.
You go to 5.
Unless you go to 5. And then you're forced to have a bigger unit, which might be less, practical in terms of maneuvering.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be interesting to see, yeah.
I was just thinking. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
No, you're right. Like, it's just down to that sort of, is cavalry that? It's funny because his cavalry, I don't know, would you guys say cavalry is struggling in the infantry meta?
I don't think so.
You get people who say it is, you get people who say it's not. So
it's always been one of those things, like it's sort of like they haven't been like super strong. Like you tend to only see certain cav units. Like I don't think it's changed all that much.
The ones that were strong pre that are still strong, but you didn't see the other ones. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Well, the fact that you can take like core cav and you don't need as many because it goes off unit strength. You don't need as many bodies to be, reaching that. And they're so maneuverable. You can really just have, a little unit of 6 or 7 just literally just scoring, just guaranteed to, go around the corner and grab something. Like
it depends what the scoring is. Obviously.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So it's just, I think they're pretty good. Cav. That's just me, but it just depends. There are some cav units that are trash, but there's some pretty good cav out there as well. So it's just like infantry. There's plenty of shitty infantry units out there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as John said, he was mainly just doing that to buff infantry. And it's especially special and rare infantry that have
that's
no
what
other
we've talked about.
role.
We're just like, how do you get them on the board?
So
and
that's fair.
Yeah. And maybe there's some play in this pack. I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk about it, but as we get into the scenario bits. But again, I don't want to totally dwell on this. Like if you've got other examples, let me know. I guess one thing as well that you do see sometimes is is if anything spelt out differently with terrain as well. Like that is something I don't know if it would really affect your construction. It's probably more around deployment and stuff. But you know, when TOs do this stuff where something's dangerous to infantry but not to other stuff, and then something else is, in this case, is dangerous to cavalry and flyers but not to infantry. You know, it might sway your, especially when it's forests, because you know they're going to be more of them than the other ones generally. So that might be something just to have a look at. So, you know, they're the type of things that you would probably have a quick look. I won't go through all that, but and then you got like victory points / how it would score. So like, is it a win? I mean, that's something we probably should talk about. Like the two big sort of ways of doing this is, you know, win, loss, draw, or victory points. You know, when you're just looking at differential tables. Now, these guys are actually doing a win. I think they do win, loss, draw in terms of tiebreakers, don't they? Where is that? Where do they say that scoring? Where would they put that? Because don't they usually do just win, loss? Like they're not just doing it on like tournament points. They do it on win, loss, draw.
Yeah, because that's what happened last time. I didn't see it in the pack either. That
okay.
I think that's
John
just
might
what they
have to
do.
tell me.
Yeah.
It was up there. It was up there, was it? Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Was it? Yeah, it's probably in here. Here it is. Maybe not. Where did I swear I've read it.
Missions.
Under missions.
Maybe in the missions.
At the very top there. There it is.
There it is.
The very first line.
It's win, loss, draw first, and then strength of schedule, then battle points.
Yes, wait.
Which is why you've still got the VP table here to get your battle points, but you're not being scored on that.
Okay, so it's still a 20-0 system, but that's actually a tiebreaker?
Yes, effectively. Yeah, so win, loss, draw is still in this, I guess, and that's probably where you need to read packs. If you care about winning, you probably need to read it, because if you see it, a lot of the times when you see a differential chart, you tend to sort of, I guess, fall back into thinking it's like straight tournament points. But yeah, they don't. These guys don't. They do the win, loss, draw, and then strength of schedule, then battle points. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the strength of
winning.
schedule goes down to a few decimal points. Like, how often is battle points then really going to be relevant?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, there was quite a few like draws from like, as in like from the win, loss, draws. You end up with quite a few people with the same, you know,
Strength
one
schedule?
win or two wins, one draw, or you know, one win, one draw, one loss. Especially when there's only 3 games. So
yeah.
If you had a 5 game, just tends to be a bit more broader the spread. But
okay, and that probably means that the strength schedule as well isn't that spread because the results haven't been too wide, which means that people can end up with the same strength schedule as well. Is that like? So then you end up going to battle points then, I guess.
Yeah, which is what happens, I think. So, but it is like it has. I think it's caught some people out, but again, not having to go at Oldhammer, it's fine. It's just that if you are looking at packs, you probably have to just double check that, because I get the win, loss, draw thing is. Look, at the end of the day, it sort of does. I like that to win a game, you still need to do it. Like it's not that close. You still need to do stuff. But it does mean that, especially in 3 games, that you probably do need to really be thinking about how do I not drop a game at all, you know? Because like I can't just destroy. I can't submarine. I can't like lose a game and then smash the last 2 games and be in contention because I've lost a game.
Yeah, and don't forget up there. So with the victory points, they've changed it. Dead and fled to be 50%.
Yep.
Which means you can't just put it in your builder and just tick off the 25%. You have to actually
you got to press the
calculator and do it yourself.
No, you press the flea one because that gives you 50%.
The flea,
I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
that's
So
how people have been doing it.
So if it's fleeing and below 25,
you know that, because the game view has that as an option, so you just press that one. So you
what
can
if
work
it's
it
both?
out,
What if it's
you're
both?
screwed, I think. Yeah. You have to manually work it out. I don't know. I can't remember.
It's just destroyed, isn't it? Isn't it both come as destroyed? You get full points.
Oh, I can't remember. Oh, you probably would with this. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're getting 50% off the other one.
I thought if you're fleeing and you're under, I don't know. Maybe not.
It's too late.
I thought it was 75%. Too much maths, guys.
Too much
Yeah.
maths.
But anyway, let's say like, yeah, like I guess was there anything before you get into like the actual scenarios that might be in
Twin
a pack,
Peaks.
is there anything else that you guys look at with the scoring and stuff overall, or is it more just, yeah, let's, you dig into the actual scenarios and then that's how you start thinking about what you might take or what you might not?
Yep.
Missed anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was going to say, but I think with the win-loss draw, I think there is a bit of a, I suppose when it comes to list building strategies around a bit more on how to, get those wins over draws. So people, tend to sink more points into bigger units and things like that. So you don't have as many outliers. I've never successfully done it, but I understand like the premise of obviously, possibly not having so many throwaway points in there.
Yeah.
Having more, high value things that you probably won't lose.
Yeah.
But again, that's probably something that the top echelons probably look into a bit more than me, because I'm just a lowly mid-tabler. So.
Well, I mean, to be honest, that whole topic there is something that's one of my things that I feel like I want to do a better job of going, okay, yeah, like when you look at that list, which are the ones that, if you play it right and you put things in, like the right characters in it, then yes, that thing is probably not going to get destroyed. I mean, if it does, you're screwed. But if it doesn't, the only other easy bits are going to be, whatever these other things that you get out of. So, I mean, it probably stands for every pack, but definitely worth thinking about, I guess, which I guess we'll talk about when we get into here. So, okay, so then you got all the match play ones and they're all in here and stuff, but we're not going to review the match play stuff, but just want to have a look at how a pack might, throw a bit of creativity into this sort of stuff. And this is what I like about the Oldhammer stuff, because they try different things all the time.
It is.
So this one is, if one hill provides a strategic advantage, then two must be even bigger. We'll give it even bigger one. So you earn 50 VP at the end of your turn for controlling a hill. So you're getting this, it's not every player's turn as such. You can only get 6 of these. But still, that's 300 victory points for controlling a hill. So that's 600 VP
2 hills.
if you suddenly control it.
Oh, so it's only your turn. Right, okay. Oh, I'm surprised they didn't make it 100.
Well, it's because there's 2 hills, isn't there? Yeah. So it's usually 100 single.
It's usually 100 at each player's turn, though. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought match play was only for your player turn, I believed. Yeah, I thought, but
everyone plays them so different that I never know.
Be incorrect. Yeah.
It talks about, okay, so if it's contested, so you got the scoring unit, but if it's contested, and this is different again, the unit with the highest leadership controls it, and then unit strength breaks it. So instantly you're seeing these differences in the rules where you're like, yeah, you're right. So MBG is both turns.
Yeah. I was incorrect.
The normal thing is you got to be scoring. You got to be closest, and then if they're both closest, then it goes off the unit strength and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
otherwise it's contested. Yeah. This throws in a highest leadership controls, and I do believe, and John's right there, so he can correct us. I remember there was some chats right at the beginning. It's like everything conveys it. So if you debuff someone's leadership or not and things like that, that would bring that around, which is pretty interesting. I think that's right, isn't it, John? Let me know. I'm pretty sure you guys chatted about that. So like a cool, if you could debuff someone's leadership right at the right time, suddenly you're now scored it, that sort of stuff. So it throws an interesting dynamic in, which I actually like, which is pretty cool.
That is.
Obviously, it still needs to be contested.
Interesting.
So yeah, but notice any scoring unit. So like, it's not looking at unit strength at that point. So like, you could have a little 10 unit that has a higher leadership will score over a lower leadership, massive brick of orcs sitting on the objective.
The zombies, they got no hope.
I mean, it's really helping
subtly.
some elves, I feel. This comp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's really interesting. I love
think
how
it's
they
it's
just
really
come up
cool.
with these cool like things.
It is.
Yeah. Then you got 250 victory points for destroying your enemy's baggage train because that's in play here. They can be destroyed by any unit that begins a turn in base contact with it. Okay, sorry, I'm finding rereading some of this and not picking up on it. So it doesn't have to be even any unit strength at all on that one. Is that correct? So that's
Looks like it.
Yeah, cool.
Oh no, wait. The next point.
Oh right, okay.
It must be a strength
five.
five.
Combat or
Yeah.
fleeing. Okay,
And
cool.
not in combat or flank.
Isn't that what the rule is? I don't
Why
know.
shouldn't that be? I feel like that
Units
should
in-
be a separate dot point.
That's
Anyway.
cool. Units in base contact cannot shoot or cast spells. That's fine. Earn 100 victory points for control your baggage chain with a scoring unit at the end of the game. So when you see these, I guess the other thing to think about now is you see these missions. You obviously got kill points happening and all the normal stuff like killing generals and banners, which probably should have gone back and mentioned that. Oh no, that's
Wasn't
the
that-
next one. Doesn't matter.
No, yeah, okay.
But when you've got these competing secondaries, not just the
We've got
one,
a few different. Yeah, yeah.
what are you guys looking for in terms of, are you trying to will you play to both? Will you just choose straight up, hey, I'll never be able to, compete with that particular one? Or,
Yeah, it
Or is that
depends. It
something
very
you do
much
on the
depends
day?
on the situation. Yeah, it depends on what army you're playing and
yeah.
what army you're bringing.
Mm.
So I think you just have to deal with it strategically on a per battle basis.
Yeah.
And sometimes you
I
just ignore the objective entirely.
Yes.
And just have fun, roll dice, try to kill things. Yeah. I mean, this is a lot, like 250 VP plus up to, maybe you do one hill over the majority of the times. There's another 300. If you can keep your baggage train sort of alive, you're getting up to that point where half the VPs are, secondaries here,
Yeah.
But this leadership thing just starts rearing its head. I reckon they start thinking, okay, well, what can I do? What can I pick in my army to maybe have more scoring units that are just higher leadership, for example, and not sort of throwing all my eggs in one basket if I need to do stretch myself thinner. So that's some stuff on that one. Then we go to the next one. Because again, it's all about reading them and then going, okay, then how do you bring it all back into what you might take? Raise the banners. So this is earn 200 victory points for controlling a table quarter determined by the scoring unit wholly within the quarter at the end of the game. And then if contested, the number of banners on scoring units determines control.
Ooh.
Captured banners are worth 100 VPs. So on this one, this is the one I was thinking about, they've doubled the banners. So not only are banners needed, they're also worth killing.
That is good.
And John, I didn't see I love having him there. We can just ask him. How does
great.
that
So
factor into
convenient.
the tapestry type magic items that give you the 100? I would assume they just don't do anything. It's not like they're adding 100. Is that right? I think the Tomb Kings and the Bretts have those ones that make the banners 100 victory points.
Yeah, they're roots for that actually.
I'm
a good
assuming
point.
they
Who's
don't
considered
make
it?
them 200. But I was
Not
when
very
I saw that,
commonly
I went, if it
taken.
makes them 200, I'm just going to bring things that can kill units and take banners. But yeah. Hang on.
Oh,
So Michael wants them counted. I did. Oh, okay. What was the result? Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah,
Which is
right.
pretty-
That'd be
50?
pretty funny.
Which is a 50-point bonus. So like that's what they're getting essentially.
That's a good compromise, Josh. Actually, that's really good.
Sorry, what did you say, Josh?
Just make it a 50 victory point bonus because that's essentially the
okay.
effect.
Yeah, okay.
That's the banner.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I said they haven't actually made a decision. I'll defer to him. He's okay, cool. Okay, well, yeah, that's. I don't know. That would be pretty funny if you ended up with a lot of, not a lot, but this one thing that went through my head is, what happens if you had a lot of high elves, for example, that had units, high leadership, banners, but they weren't massive and they're still toughness 3, but then you could come through with something like Bretts or Tombkins to try and eat some banners, and getting upwards of 200 victory points a banner. Suddenly, you're playing that sort of game. I don't know if it would do anything, but it was just a thought that went through my head. if I could use that magic item, but I don't know if you can.
And I think this scenario just highlights, Gomo, like for me, and I'm sure you guys will be the same, is you would, if you were having a lot more smaller units, not going full MSU, but if you did have a lot more, elite style army, would you be taking banners on absolutely everything? Or are you just going to say like, I might, there's only 4 table quarters sort of thing, so I might not bring as many banners. Or if you do have those cheaper units, a good chance they're going to die, or, are you going to be taking banners on them? Like this is the real good stuff in the pack that I think people need to take note of.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll go back to scoring just want to have a look at this. So there isn't any, it's just straight up. There's no unit size or anything in your race. So it's just basically like put the scoring unit in that quarter, you get it, but it's, if it's contested, it's the number of banners in it. So it does, it just starts leading towards that idea of, but then the smaller units are easy to kill. And if you've got that in your other 2 games, I mean, you can really bleed some victory points. This one you can bleed 100 per banner, but the others you're still on the 50. But because that's sort of where it's. I feel like that's happened with Old World a bit, where it's like, unless you've got a good reason to bring that magic banner that you need, you're not going to just whack it willy nilly on other, units a lot, because it's just
because those worth a fair bit of points.
Well, you used to whack it on the cav a lot, but this is where I think the infantry buff has screwed that a bit, because it's like, infantry have so much combat res that one banner is fuck all. So why do I want to give up 50 victory points? I mean, that's one thing. Yeah. When you're putting on a shitty little unit, I mean.
Like a little, like a bit of chaff. Yeah. I reckon. I'm assuming, this is the other thing. So you're talking about the magic item that gives a buff to victory points. What about units that don't give up victory points when they lose their banner?
What's that one?
The peasant, I forget the name of the special rule.
Yeah, they just don't.
But the bowman, you put a banner on them, doesn't mean anything if you get it. Now it's a scoring unit. It's going to be taking quarters. It's
So does that mean Brett's just everywhere? Now I believe they did chat about that, but I don't know what happened with that one. So maybe John will have to ask. I think I did see that somewhere. But otherwise you could just have peasant bowmen everywhere with banners.
Yeah.
I mean, you're only going to get so many points. I think it's all counted. Oh, does it trump? Does it trump the
I clicked the wrong button.
Special rule? So all.
Hang on. So what's he saying? He's saying they are.
So he's saying they're all counted. So they're all worth 100 VPs. Oh,
that's right.
That rule. Which is good. I mean, you have to, otherwise that would be. Oh, that would suck.
Yeah, it would.
Well, hang on. Is he saying the other way, that the rule is counted? I don't know, because he's saying, blame if it goes wrong. I don't know. It trumps. It trumps.
Yeah,
okay.
And then Silver Day said it trumps as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Possibly.
So it's his fault.
Right.
You ruined it for everyone, for all the other Bretonian
And then
players.
we've got Upon the Fields of Glory. And this, I don't know, I feel like this is the potential to be really funny, or nothing happens. So you calculate, so basically all you're doing is kills. So calculate VP based on units fled, dead, or brought to 50%. That's the only VP. So I'm assuming this is how I'm reading it. There's no general killed. Well, general, do they get even the bonus? Or is it just straight onto just what you actually killed? But then if the result is that first 0 to 2 fortnight, so basically the 10-10 score, it's a fight off between, a character or champion on each side, and whoever wins gets an 11-9.
Ooh.
So there's no other objectives at all. But then...
There's no draws here.
Yeah. But then at the same time, I think if it's just pure kill, the chances of being a 10-10 are probably going to be a lot less too. So I don't know if it'll fall in.
Ah,
Do you know what I mean?
that's amazing.
Yeah.
You're going into this, how badly do you want to draw for this game, just so you can play the ridiculous?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. And people get to play for the draw.
We're so disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I like these,
And it's got to be whoever survives the battle, right? Like that's the
Yeah.
chosen living character or champion, potentially wounded. So if you could drag me on like one wound, do you go in with him? Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
And it'd be so
I hope it happens a lot, but I
you
don't
really
know.
want.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, having said that,
It's a long day.
Is-
You got the third game. You're tired. You just shake hands and do the duel for the death.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Third one.
It'd be such an
Duel.
epic showdown too.
Is this the
Top
one that
table.
affects the top tables more than the bottom tables? You know what I mean? Where they actually are trying to hold on to
True.
victory. Yeah. So,
It's
Are you
good.
building for this one? What are you doing?
I
How are
don't-
you building your list?
I was like, what happens with things like the Green Knight that come back or whatever? Does that not count? I don't know. Like, is there any that just come back when they die? So it's like, I'll put that one up. Yeah, I don't know.
The Green
So
Knight.
is outside
he's
influence
ruining everything. The Green Knight.
Did people bring up mounts for this? How's that work? So you don't get a
Well, they
mount?
just be,
You do get a mount.
Well,
no, I
there's
think
a
it would
mount
if
in the
it's part of
picture.
it. Yeah.
There's mounts down there. I assume they're all part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
'cause
what
you could
I
have
said.
some-
So no undead, go. But that's why. Well, I brought that up. That means you can't. If you're playing undead, you can't participate in this duel because you're already dead.
Oh, wait, what? So
It says-
Oh,
it's
yeah,
literally
Each
rules
player's
is
chosen
written.
living
Wow,
and
that's
possibly
the most
wounded character.
litigious approach to in-house scenario I've ever seen. That must be living.
Yeah, right.
But, yeah,
so
I don't know. It's a
ridiculous.
very interesting one. I think it's fun. Yeah, John's just joking. You
Okay,
do
yeah,
use
good.
undead
He's
normally,
joking.
but yeah, I don't know. I think
Undead are fine, not dead.
This is funny. It's going to be interesting to see how often. And yeah, I don't know. I had the same question. I don't know if you even build into it. I don't even know how you can
No, I don't think.
on
I
this
don't think-
one.
This is deliciously narrative.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
you could have somebody on a dragon. That could definitely build into it, I think.
Now, the
Compared
other
to-
interesting thing here, though,
That's
if
true.
you built into your
Mm.
banners really big for that second one, they're not going to leak in this tournament, this round. They're not going to leak points. Is that right?
yeah, reverse to 50. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Well, you're not gonna get any 50. Like you won't get the extra 50 points. If you
Oh, there's
kill
no
units
points.
with
Oh,
banners.
sorry.
Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Because
right. Okay.
Am I
didn't
right in
read
saying that
Yeah.
that's just that? You're not even getting. Did John confirm that or not? You're not even
It'd be
getting
good to
general points.
just write it in
and
there.
stuff?
No points for banners rather than omitting it.
It's just the units
it clear.
dead fled and brought
Dead
to
fled.
50%.
But
So
if
not-
you kill
the
the
fleeing dead.
general, yeah.
Wait,
that's
so
an
you know,
extra dot
no
point,
bonus for
but-
general.
I don't think so. It's a different dot point.
That's a
but I
different
don't know,
thing,
you have
right?
to
That's
ask
the
him.
king is dead.
Yeah.
It's a different rule. So
Yeah.
it's only dead and fled, right?
Well, that's how I was reading
Yeah.
it, which I thought was interesting because then it is more of a like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, just pure kill points. Yeah, just
Yeah,
whatever's
pure
in
kill
there he
points.
goes. Sorry, I
No-
missed it. He must have answered it. Yeah, so it is pure kill points. So that's cool. I mean, it ties into that. So that was a question I had with this one. Like, are you worried about bleeding banners on other missions because you need it for this one? Well, you can safely tick off this one, round 3, and go, well, I'm not going to bleed points off my banners. And in fact, the more banners I have, and how does
Well,
it
the
work
better.
when you...
You're
Well,
not
yeah, no, it
risking
doesn't. I was going to say you
anything
can't
by
hide
having all these
points on them,
banners.
can you? Because they still count if they die. You get the points for the magic items that were on them. But yeah, you're not just losing
Yeah,
like
yeah.
50 points there. So then it comes back to the first mission to go, does it hurt me or harm me to have banners in the if I have a lot of them in here? And the question probably potentially isn't. The fact that any scoring unit on a hill controls it and it's down to leadership and then unit strength ties it. I don't know. It feels like to me that this mission is falling towards special edition where you just like lay out the infantry, bring all your special infantry, MSU, load them up with banners, high elves, Phoenix Guard, and see what happens. Sit on the hills. I don't know. I don't know. What other armies? So I guess what are you seeing? Let's just go through the thought experiment. Pretend you have every army. Which factions do you think excel in these 3 examples of, the different packs? I mean, I know they can all compete, well, most of the time, but
I reckon Else will do okay. I reckon the way they've structured the pack, I think they do pretty. I think they'd be fine. I mean, it's really weird that they got that highest leadership control thing, for the hills. It's very unique.
You can buff
but
it.
I think they do okay in the banner. Like,
what about
controlling the
Empire
quarters
as
and that
well?
type of thing as
Empire
well?
got massively good leadership now.
Yeah.
Those cheap generals and shit on leadership 10 or whatever they are.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they get up to 10.
I reckon
Yeah,
something
that's
hard
pretty
to
well.
move. Like if you get buffed by your general,
Can you put banners on Fanatics? I mean, flagellants? Can't remember.
I don't think so.
that's it.
You can put them on. You can put them on Slayers, but they probably die still.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say dwarves. Dwarves wouldn't be too bad for controlling the hill because they don't have that far to move. The only thing they're going to suck with is table
where you bring
quarters.
miners.
Yeah, that's it.
Miners.
Good
They're back. They're back, baby.
Ambush.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is interesting. Yeah.
Would I
That's
take
cool.
Brett's? I'm not sure I'd take Brett's for it. I don't know. Like, I mean, they've got some good chunky infantry blocks that could maybe take a hill, but they're not going to compete against, some of those other, the big dwarf blocks, really.
Yeah.
And
But
I
they
think,
only have to.
I think I might
okay.
struggle in the quarter one as well. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. The quarters are. I thought those fast armies are really good at doing those quarter ones, but especially because it's not like I don't. It's not like you're gonna have. Well, I don't know. How many scoring units with banners do you reckon on average you'll see in a list? I guess you'll see probably more than you would have usually.
Yeah, a little bit more. There'll be small units with banners. I mean, I guess Brett specifically,
is it going to be
just
13 like Silver Dave did? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Not if they're each worth 100 points to capture them.
Exactly.
I'll take 3 or 4, I reckon. I'll be too worried about losing him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Very cool pack. Very cool.
It
pack.
is.
Yeah.
It is very
It's
good.
these type of I like and this is where I'm such a big proponent, is that the word, for these different comps and stuff. And it's not because the game needs comp, it's because it's this variable thought pattern. I think if everyone was just playing out of the book match play, every tournament becomes, which secondaries are we using? Oh, those ones. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just seems
It's quite stagnant.
This is what's
You
fun
see the
about
same list.
Old World and Warhammer in general, that the packs actually make the game different, even though it is the same game. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But
But that's one thing I think as well with this whole win-loss draw system is in those close games, because it is sort of like, if you are chasing 3 wins, especially towards the higher tables, like you really need to build into those scenarios. And then I think Dave just said, they only bleed points for one game, but obviously in that win-loss draw scenario, you can't afford to have an 11-9 or else, in any other sort of VP sort of game.
yeah, it's worth something still. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's such a, as soon as you lose one, you're pretty much just out of contention, aren't you? So it's so important to just be able to, across the board, all 3 scenarios to be able to, have a good crack of it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I usually just go for 2-1, but then that means you're always in the middle somewhere anyway. because of the way it works out. But yeah.
That's
cool.
my go-to. I just want to win more than I lose.
Yeah. So I guess going back to one of my points, right? Because we're over half time now. I do our shout outs and stuff. I don't know what magic we brought to this or not, but it was interesting chat.
It was interesting.
Where do you
chat.
think if you have a new person and that they're coming to this, we've got a couple of new people coming to ours. We've made ours a lot simpler than this one. Where do you reckon they should focus? Like they can't, I don't think they're going even in depth as we did for an hour. Like most of the time they're just painting their first army. But is there anything particular that you think, like, is it just focus at least on one secondary on each map, or is it, don't worry about it? Like, what, how could you, if you were going to give someone a piece of advice and they wanted to do their best, but they can't remember everything, what's the most important thing in a pack that they should be looking at?
Oh, in terms of in terms of the whole pack, or you mean in terms of scenarios and playing?
Well, scenarios probably, yeah.
Is that what you mean? Because there's a fair bit going on there. I probably, my advice wouldn't be to get too distracted by them. If they're a bit, if they're actually still trying to get on top of the laws of the game and that type of thing. I'd probably tell them to engage with them if they can. And like the hill's probably one that's pretty easy because it's like you're moving on the hill.
Yep.
Like the baggage train, I feel like is a little bit more finicky in terms of how it works. I mean, it's not complex, but layer it on top of the game itself. Yeah, the hill's pretty intuitive. You move on the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think a lot of, especially things like domination, like the quarters, a lot of times you just try and learn how to remember the game, and then you don't even get to the point where you think, oh shit, I had to put some people over there. Like, so sometimes you're right, Josh. Sometimes it's like just kill things, and sometimes the best way to learn about secondaries is the fact that you didn't chase them. And so when you, at the end of the game, after 3 games, you realize, if I'd got those secondaries, I would have gone up a little bit here. But you don't know it until you've done it. And sometimes that's a good way to learn anyway, especially if you're new and you're not obviously trying to podium. You notice that in something like Castle Assault List where those 3 or whatever it is, 6 battle points swings the game huge. And so if you just play kill points and then suddenly you lose a couple of games for that, you go, right, now I'm learning what I need to look for. So,
yeah, it was insane, wasn't it? It'd be like an 8-7, then it'd be something like a 13-7 or something. Like it'd be like, oh my god, like
I think anyone new, like it just comes down to play something that's easy to play, like you said. If you start mudding the waters up with, you need this for scenario, it's going to make it probably a little bit too complex with the mechanics of the game, and they could end up losing even bigger. Whereas if they had something that's simple to play, they might be able to have enough tactical know-how with a simpler army to,
I think the other thing too, and we probably didn't mention this, and maybe it doesn't matter as much with this pack, but definitely out of the box stuff, the first thing I'd probably recommend, especially a lot of the times you're going to play out of the box, probably sort of more, is the unit strength scoring is so big in most of the Warhammer Old World at the moment. So it's almost like write down or look at their list and go, there's a unit of 6 cavalry there or whatever. So they're a lot more easy just to like shoot a magic missile at them and suddenly they're not scoring. So it's probably not as relevant in this pack, but for other packs, it is usually very, very relevant. So I guess that could be a tip, is just because someone's brought 4 scoring units, after turn 2, there might only be 1, depending on how they've constructed their list. So just think about those things. And it doesn't take a lot of thinking to do that. And then you can just worry about killing things and then see what comes out in the wash, I don't know, keep it simple.
That's how that's how I usually play.
Yeah. It's because you got Bretts. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, that was our chat, and it's a good, man. I don't know. I love their packs. I love just seeing what they've cooked up over the last couple of weeks or months, whatever they do. But anyway, hopefully we'll see how that goes. Ours is a lot simpler for this weekend for me, Andrew's one, but maybe next time we'll start making it a bit more complex. So, cool.
Do you guys even have a players pack, or is it just like you just turn up, play 3 games?
The other day.
Are we savages, Josh?
I'm just teasing you.
Oh, you did see our pack.
I did
Good
see it.
job on
I
that.
did see it.
Okay.
Gotta say,
No, it looks awesome.
No, just
it does.
we went a bit
Domo
easy.
did some magic with that.
Yeah,
Sunday
unlike
was
Josh's.
really good.
Josh is like way in depth. He's awesome.
Oh, yeah, it took me a
Theme
while.
and narrative. We went the opposites. Yeah, cool. Anyway,
But
I
ours
am
looks
going to
pretty-
give our shout outs to our patrons at half time, and then we'll get in some questions. What do you reckon?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, let's do it. Okay, and here, let me butcher some names here.
Oh, I can't.
Excuse
We're all
me.
here for the
So-
butchering.
Yeah. So big thank you to our patrons who keep us turning up on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday every week. We have Sexy Dave, Mark Hewitz, Shabismus, Ambler Doom, Western Sydney Wargamers, Feud Owner, Vinny, Louis Spagnero, McCullen, King Pash, and the Mustache Rash, Tom Pickard, not Matt, who I am grudging this week, which is going to be cool.
Oh.
Jess Tors, Adam Lamb,
Nice.
The Orange Juicer, Matty, Firebird 7137, Peter Holman, Mark Langley, Matt Hinton, The Old Warrior, Silver Dave, Sporadic Sanity, Mark, Nick, Chris Bowler, Drunkhummer Nate, Ben Shooter, Louis, Cam the Dentist, James McCullen, Liam Fallon, Tommy Kublin, Jay McBride, Flatworld Edge, Sexy Jelly, Herald of the Old World, Keel Herd, Tommy Dogs, Matthew Klein, Perfidy, Griff, Jess Tors, Wood Duck,
That's
Josh
awesome.
Griffiths, Ninanimum, Daniel Broadstock, Elliot Mitchum, Gilthos Draconos, Diesel, Denny Gamer, was it? Yeah. Robert Z, Business Spotlight, Dick's Banjo Bungee. Cool.
Dick's Banjo Bungee?
Yep.
Okay.
OG Whirler, Lewis Scunt, as you.
Oh,
I'm saying Lewis Scunt, so it
man.
doesn't sound
He's
as bad.
just. I got him to change it on the Discord, and now he's put it in the
Oh,
Patreon.
you have to tell that story.
What the
Gunwich,
heck?
Henry Cavill, and the OG, Todd Lloyd, as
Henry
usual, who is
Cavill.
coming this weekend as well. Henry Cavill, which is, I think, related to a question this week as well. But yeah,
Oh,
Josh almost got in trouble with Bobby Gherkin's name the other day, which is kind of funny. I
Yes.
like that story.
Yes, it was annoying. Yeah, because I mean, all it was really was that my partner was reading something off my phone, and then like the Discord chat just pops up, and it's just like suddenly she's like, "Josh, why are you talking to someone whose name is
Named that.
CLNG?
Yeah,
What the fuck is this?" I'm like, I was like, "Oh no,
yeah, it's Bobby Gherkin.
oh, so
Danny
annoying."
Bobby. What do we got then, Josh?
Could not deal with it.
What random stuff have they thrown at us this week?
there's some difficult ones in there. Very difficult.
Oh yeah, there are some difficult ones, and I'm worried we haven't got it.
You saying we haven't prepared?
Yeah. I'll just start. So, Sean asks, do you ever feel like you don't get as much enjoyment out of the hobby as the amount of effort you put in?
Oh, it's a bit deep.
Ooh.
It's a very philosophical one to start with. Do you ever feel like you don't get as
I
much?
think it depends. If I come back from a tournament and haven't won a game, then I go, oh, fuck now.
Bullshit. That's so deep.
Depends where you classify.
He's pinned the nail on the donkey right there.
I mean, what do you classify as effort? Is that the hobby, or is it all the stuff,
probably
effort of
lame,
going
yeah.
to
I
an
mean, this-
event, building
yeah, probably
lists,
all of it.
you know,
I'd
spending
say
a day
all.
playing Warhammer?
I guess that's the thing.
Do you ever feel like you don't get
there
as much
another-
enjoyment out of the hobby? This amount of effort you put in.
I'd probably say. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
No way.
I think
Well, why would we be here? Like, we're actually
Yeah.
probably high end effort at this point, given our endless
yeah, I mean, I want
dedication
put
to
more
a
effort
weekly
into it
2-hour
a bit hard
podcast
lately,
on top
but
of everything else we do.
Yeah, no, I think it's probably sort of the other way with me, where it's like you want to spend a bit more time than you tend to, or something, and so sometimes you skip a few corners and things because you can't put it in, and that's where it probably lose a bit of enjoyment sometimes, because you can't just, like, especially painting's a good example where you're like, I'll just smash these guys out so they're done.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's it's probably a little bit of reverse of that. I think, I don't know if he means this, but I've had probably the odd case where, I don't know, like it's probably usually a GT where you, well, GT, but like 5 games, 2 days, where you really enjoy, maybe the first, even the whole day, and then the second day, it's usually one of those games or the game in the first day where you're like, I just want to get through it.
Yeah.
Like it. It's probably more just play 3 games in 1 day is hard. It's probably a bit of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I don't enjoy the whole hobby because of it. It's just there is odd occasions where I go, oh, yeah, it'd be good when this game's over. Not because of my opponent, just because, I don't love every game I'm playing, if you know what I mean. If I'm not mentally into it or tired or, stuff like that.
There's peaks and troughs, I think, as well. Same with the hobby. Sometimes you get a lot of hobby blues, like, you just can't pick up the paintbrush. But there's other times where it's like, you're just loving it. So it's a very hard question to answer, I think.
Yeah, I think you could, again, set your right expectations. I think if someone was like, I want to win all my games, and then they do all this work, and then they still get beaten a lot, that might start sucking it out. But I think, look, I mean, to me, that's a mindset issue. Like you got to love, it's that whole idea, love the process, not the outcome, be process driven, not outcome driven. And I guess that's the problem. If your outcome's going to be, I want a great painted army, or I want to win 5 games, or I want to, then you might fall into that thing where you're not enjoying the hobby. Like if you're probably like Josh that loves to just paint and hobby, it doesn't really matter what the outcome is. He's going to enjoy it all the time. So,
that's why I haven't said anything, because that's exactly what I was going to say. Because I'm thinking like I've got hobby stuff that I'm going to talk about later in the episode. Most of it is borderline one use only, made for very specific events, and I might not use them again. But I painted them up, and then I looked at it when I was painted, and it's a bit of effort, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Like I derived the enjoyment from it already in the process of painting them. But then on the other hand, I haven't played any actual Warhammer games for a while. So, who am I to talk?
No, well, it's all part of it, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. Sounds like we need to get Sean back
playing
on
the battle
for a bit of
can be
therapy.
stressful. Well, he started all this. Like now, I feel like he needs to answer this question as well. Like, is he asking this because is he feeling he's not getting out of it what he's putting in?
He's
like
running the actual Canada Masters now, so I don't know.
It's like why is he asking this question if he isn't feeling a little bit?
It's a subtle cry for help.
That's right. Maybe he's one of his therapy.
Josh just pulled out the reverse card.
Cool.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna drop down and go before we get a more complex question. I'm gonna ask John's question. Angelus asks, GW is producing a Warhammer live action show in Newcastle and need extras to make appearances and cameos from Australia's Warhammer community. You can choose to be any race or faction to appear doing something in the background. What would each of you be, and what would you be doing?
Oh, God. What would I be
Whatever
doing?
hides my face, so nobody knows it's me. I'll be an orc. There you go.
I'll tell you. I do. Yeah, I'll read some of the narrative from one of the 6-day events I went to last year. I'd probably be I don't mind being a Bretonnian lord, whatever. I can be that. I'll be shaving. I'll be shaving in the background. And then I'll act like I see the lady in my shaving bowl.
Oh.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, right.
In my head, one of the first things I thought, because I reckon I could just look like that, is like some weird atrophied Tomb King dead person. Because I always joke that I look like I'm dying of cancer or something. But but I don't know what you do in the background. Like, what do you do if you look like a Tomb King in the background? I don't know. Who knows?
What would you be, John?
I'll be a flagellant.
I'll reverse Uno, John. What are you going to
Oh,
be?
he's in the chat, isn't he? Oh, yes.
He is.
Oh, we can ask questions
Hey,
back.
maybe that's what we should start doing. Just reverse.
Today's the
reverse Uno.
reverse. Yeah,
Yeah.
the flipping the
Fair enough.
questions.
What are you asking us for, John? Who are these patrons? What are they doing?
What are they even doing here?
Asking us questions. Oh.
Cool.
Would be a
Do
witch.
we have any answers? Are we done with that one?
Yeah, he'd be a witch elf. That's what Dave said.
Oh, there we go. He'd be a dreadlord slapping a human.
A human.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Okay, a more serious question. For when asked if you can make. Oh, this is a really hard question, guys. I don't know if we're out for this. If you can make one single change to each legacy faction individually, and you have to try and make them all balanced, what would you do? Like, what change would you pick for each faction?
Oh God.
I read that when you posted it, and I'm just like, I don't have the brain space for this question. I'd have to write a thesis.
I would defer it to Val and see if he could create a version 2 of the legacy pack. Does that count? One single change.
One single change to each legacy.
But to make them balanced, like as in bringing them up to competitive with all the other ones. I don't know if one single change can do that.
Well, all balanced. So that could be a nerf, I guess. Vampires.
Vampires, yeah.
I reckon elves just need.
I mean,
I was going to say like dark elves and high elves. I just think they need something.
High elves aren't legacy though. Oh.
Well, dark elves are, but just elves
yeah.
in general. So maybe like reroll ones to hit or something like that for like, or the old always strike first.
Yeah.
They used to have.
Yeah.
Just something small like that. I reckon to be quite a boon for, especially because they're infantry focused.
Yeah, and there's not as many attacks in this game, so like it wouldn't be as crazy it was in 8th. Like
true.
The amount of attacks you could get a unit having.
Especially when they're in horde.
The infantry, exactly. Yeah. So it probably isn't that bad. Demons, I feel like it's something to do with giving them more access to like magic items and stuff, just to give them a bit more flexibility around what they can bring. I feel like there's just not that much. I think the actual units are probably not that bad, especially I'm assuming you're playing under renegades. We get like ward saves and stuff, but so I feel like it's something to do with that, like giving them a bit more access to. All right, either giving them more or letting them have some common stuff and all that. What about Chaos Dwarves? Feels like you need to buff something to do with Chaos Dwarves so they're not taking friggin' orcs and shit all the time.
Oh, like the actual dwarves themselves. I was going to say,
I don't know. Like, what do you?
Yeah, if you're going to bring dwarves, I think it just comes down to be honest, it's points. For I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. It's either that or movement. It seems to be the two big things with dwarves going on. It's just Plus, they've got you've just got better options. Like that's it's the dwarf problem.
The lizardman one has to be. I don't even know if this is in the game, but where's the troglodyte? Where's that? Bring that thing back and actually make it good, and then solves all their problems. Surely. Do you guys remember what that thing is?
No.
That no one ever took in 8th either. Wasn't it the alternate build for the main dinosaur dude, whatever he's called, the
Stegodon.
What's it called? The Tyrannosaurus Rex looking guy. What's he called?
The
Carnosaur, yeah.
Was it? Was it that?
Was that what's in the same kit?
I can't. Something like that. What's this? That's in a cave, Gummo. I don't know what that is. Yeah.
There we go. Thanks, John. He's giving us make all their skin stack with armor.
Yeah.
Makes them tough as nails. Which probably would be pretty terrifying.
I reckon. Yeah.
We should just get John to answer all our hard questions. We'll just go, here you go, John.
Oh, he's had his hand in rule book. What's the other ones?
Are there any others?
They need?
Oh,
What do they need?
there's so many.
But they can shoot into themselves again.
Combat.
Yeah, shoot in combat. That was the biggest pain in the ass, I think, last time. It's not the only thing, but because they had that infantry, the infantry buffs as well, just like the old Horde. You'd bring in these giant infantry units. And the problem is, you could bring slaves, but then you're not going to bring clan rats if you got slaves because it's a lot the same thing. But yeah, I reckon shooting into combat would definitely help.
Does Skaven have a play in the Oldhammer pack there, in terms of not only are they getting the extra 100, can they just put so many bodies on the board with banners that they are cheap, but they're also big and they're banners, and they would have high leadership because of
Yeah,
them?
they would.
Like, are they,
Yeah, I think you might be right. They could be. They could be good.
There have been some Skaven players doing okay with Skaven. Yeah. I think they could go all right. I'll be keen to bring Skaven. I just got so many I got to paint. So it's like gone on the back burner. Plus,
and ogres, I'll probably try to do that thing with monstrous infantry where you give them a bit of press of battle rules and shit like that and see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah. They just need a little, just a little bit of rules that interact with the normal game.
Yeah.
It might be okay.
And we'll probably miss some, but
that's good enough. No, that's fine. Should I go to the next question? Miss Junk, she's resurfaced. First question in ages. I'm pretty sure she had 2 questions actually. I'm pretty sure the second one that was something about a monolith on the Epstein Island or something like that, but I can't quite remember what it was, and I chose not to remember what it was. So
is it a mini monolith?
I saw it, and I went back to copy them all over, and it's gone. I was like,
it's been black.
She redacted herself.
What's it called? Redacted already?
Redacted. The monolith files.
It's in the emails.
It's in the emails. There you go. Josh was like, I'm not having any of this. Delete.
They must have mentioned Trump.
I didn't redact it myself. I swear. Her actual question, though, which is actually a decent question, I like Kylie's question, is about kit bashing and modeling. So, how often do you kit bash? Like, do you still do it? Do you think it's becoming a lost art with how good the Age of Sigmar models and your 3D prints are? Like, has it been supplanted? Like, but do people kit bash anymore, or is it now just not a thing?
Yeah, I think it's
subtle
less.
kit bashing.
Yeah. And personally, I do. That's what I do. I personally do subtle. It's been a long time since I've seen someone. I do see people post stuff where they've totally like replaced every. They have taken 2 different kits for every miniature, and then they've replaced it. Mixed it around. But I think a combination of good plastics, the fact that the plastics don't. In the old days where they used to be able to position. Miniatures how you want and stuff. Now you can't, and it's expensive. I think kit bashing has sort of fallen off. It probably hasn't fallen off in the sort of large character stuff. I think people still, like they probably try there, but then obviously with the 3D prints, that sort of takes it out as much.
Yeah, so. I think the 3D prints have supplanted a bit, and I think also even if you wanted to kit bash, I think the newer kits they are complicated. It's not like it's just arm on torso and then legs anymore.
Yeah.
Like substituting bits in here and there, like for a regiment type thing. I don't know that it'd be that easy. It's actually quite a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And interestingly,
not to say that you can't. Like people shouldn't try focus back on it because I think it is. It's not hard to throw in, like you said, subtle things or just small things, shield swaps, stuff like that. I think it's worth. Especially given the fact that a lot of miniatures end up looking the same because they're all just, 10 different poses.
Yeah.
Well, I think there is still play with kit bashing. Even how do I put this? So because 3D printing is a different world, and there's actually a lot of scope for modifying 3D like sculpts before you print them. Like digital sculpting, digital kit bashing. And I think that actually opens up a lot of interesting avenues. If you got the skills to do it, that's the thing. Like it's actually a whole other thing, and working with your blender or mesh mixer, like it is almost like you need like lessons in it. It's a whole other hobby on top of everything else.
Again,
Not the 3D printing is a hobby
on top of the 3D
then
printing.
digital
hobby.
sculpting.
Yeah.
Hobby on hobby.
Yeah.
But I will pop these up briefly as an example of that kind of thing. So these guys, fifth ed knights, but I've used like the foot knight sculpts on the bottom. I've used some ground knight arms, done a few things like that. Mordheim fellows. But yeah, so I will call them kit bashed. I don't know if digital or not.
Yes, that is a good example.
I kit bash my Cetra. Does that count too? Like that's the thing. I do that occasionally with a bigger thing. Like I'll use a bit of 3D print here and a bit of old school classic here, and then. But I probably wouldn't do it with a whole army. Like I haven't got to that point. Maybe one day I probably should. Like what Josh is doing a bit with his orcs.
Yeah, the
orc with your orcs effectively.
Yeah, actually, no, I forgot about the orcs. Yeah, that's a good example too. Man, that's a good example. That's a good point. And like, more and more when I'm trying to build a whole new army, I do try to make it individualized, but still GW-ish in appearance. And so often, I think I am most of the time if I'm building a new army, I do try to kit bash things. Actually, now that you say, but still with the right aesthetic, I love doing that kind of stuff. All right, second last question. Fuad. Oh, he's got 2 questions this week. He's gonna double his Patreon dollar, I feel. Fuad, but I will answer it. We'll answer it. Are we going to see an Old Fanatics team at Snake Eyes this year? Are we? Ooh. Are you guys coming down?
Tell them if they're running my tournament software, then yeah, let's say yes. Already hit Danny up about that, but yeah.
I actually saw just before it's teams of 4.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yep.
Yeah, it's been confirmed.
Yep. I'd love to get to a team's event.
Which actually, that's a big team.
It's a big team.
It's the 6th to the 7th, isn't it, of June?
Yeah. I want to say that's it.
That'd be a little bit hard for me this year.
That's okay. I'll see how I go. Might be an option.
But I would be keen for a national trip where we all go and a teams event. But yeah.
Just that one's a bit tough. Yeah, okay.
That's going to be a little bit.
There's not a lot of teams events in Australia at the moment. I think it'll keep popping up, but we were going to run one, so that could be something we try to.
No, that would be good.
Wasn't there...
So pencil us in, maybe some of us.
I think Oldhammer's running a teams tournament in October.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were too.
I have no other more details.
Yeah.
But it is in the upcoming events on the All Rankings,
which
is an incredible resource for finding out upcoming events, by the way. Whoever designed that website's a genius.
It's pretty good. Now you can filter by teams.
It would be real fun, but I reckon teams. Just
I'm definitely planning to go this year.
We could try aim for that one, but again, it just depends on when. As a team's event,
I'm definitely keen to go to Snake Eyes this year.
And I'll just say, probably in the next.
As long as I'm not working again.
You'll be able to follow tournaments as well soon, which will help you keep a track of what they're doing and stuff. So I'll have to look at that. Cool.
Right. I have one more question, which is me. I put this question in. This Josh fellow. Because I was just having a discussion about this, and that is, how do you feel about peg knights in Battle March?
Ooh.
Oh, that is
I was
hard.
How many can
receiving
you actually
questions
get?
about
Like, how
this.
does it work? Like 6.
Like
can you get a
one
unit?
unit, probably
3?
one. Well, you can probably. Well, okay. If we hypothetically we say 1 unit of 3.
Yeah.
In a 650 point army, is that going to ruin the games? Is that too much? Like, should I be comping them out? What if they were in open order?
Yeah.
I think open order would be fairer if they were,
Yeah.
but it's like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is because the thing is, like, a unit of 3, as long as like there's no other like Baron on a peg or anything. I think
Yeah,
if it's
because
just
they have
they're
a
the
character,
only things
yeah.
that are flying.
Yeah.
So the characters are on horses. The rest of the army is actually not that. Like, yeah, if everyone's flying, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But if it's just a unit of 3 peg knights and that's it, that's flying in the army. I mean, it's a small army though, so that's still a third of the army. Is 3 peg knights.
You know, Josh,
You know,
with
they're
your,
they're
single
a bit
character-
fragile. Like if they get hit by a magic missile or something,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
they'll get deleted quite easily.
Yeah. How does that? You know how you said at the beginning you've got was it 1 unit of skirmishers?
Mm.
Does that mean like if I have them, I can't put a character outside a unit because he
Excludes
counts as a
characters.
skirmisher?
No, it excludes characters.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Mm.
Be pretty cool if it didn't though. That'd be funny. They have to go in. Keep them locked in a unit.
That would be funny.
That would
be funny.
What
about
I
Lantern?
personally wouldn't do it. I'd just let it play. Like, I just don't think you're trying to totally balance out Battle March. You sort of like get people involved.
Yeah.
Let them use their tools.
Well, I
a
didn't.
bit.
I didn't want to comp things out completely. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was my hesitation about saying no. You can't have any peg knights because it just seems, you know, like you just can't take them. I wonder if being forced to have them in open order might be a way around that. Maybe, you know, like
I think that'd be a
feel
good
like
compromise.
Yeah.
I still think they're
Would
going
you
to be
see
quite
them-
strong. But
Would you see them if that was the case?
I'm really just talking about in the context of my event.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it. What about lanterns? So that was the other thing I was thinking about. So in the drop to toughness, they're flammable. I think crane gun is still problematic.
Yeah.
I reckon the crane gun because it's such a long range. If I reckon without the crane gun, I reckon lanterns are fine. They're just short range. They're just harrying. They're not doing too much. What do you think?
Oh, I think that.
Or are they still?
Okay.
Are they
They're still
annoying?
gonna like that bomb. The one bomb they set off is probably gonna delete a unit. Still.
Yeah. No, stupid
Especially 'cause the
lanterns.
unit's little.
Well, yeah, the lanterns are so little. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going.
It's hard for a game that small, like just to
Yeah.
counter
It is.
something.
And that's the thing. I
it
don't think
is.
you can really, because otherwise you start losing parts of the. You might as well make a core hammer or something, which again you could.
I know.
You could say
Yeah,
you've
something
gotta
else
take
like
core,
no, you
but-
can't have
Yeah.
this unit, can't have that unit, can't have that kind of thing. And I feel like it's always best judged in the context of a list as well. Like it's not just
Yeah,
because that's the thing. Like we're talking about these units in isolation, but it's also about what else is in the army. Like is everyone else just on horses on foot? Is there anything else actually threatening? If it's if nothing else actually bad, then I reckon they're justifiable. That's probably the best way to do it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the therapy session. That's my questions.
Cool.
I think not Matt was asking. And sorry, a little side note. In the comments, Angelus did mention October long weekend. They're looking at possibly doing teams, Oldhammer teams, and I think he's saying they're looking at 5, but they might settle on 4 if that's going to be the new trend. So that's pretty cool.
Okay,
Bit of news.
So that's the
And then
4th of October.
Sorry,
That's what's in our world rankings. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then not Matt asked, are we going through our lists for Sunday? Got more
I
on
think he's going
myself.
through lists for Sunday, like all up. Or we're not doing that tonight. But
Oh, okay.
I don't think we have.
Oh,
all
yeah,
lists.
that's right. Going through lists.
Yeah.
Sorry. Did we want to hit our list or is it?
Oh, well, that's the only hobby I have, so we good. I
We
don't
good?
have any
Yeah.
hobby, so you guys can I think Josh has a lot of hobby.
Yeah, I've got too much.
I've got a hobby. Wait, should I just go through my hobby and then you can do lists?
Sure.
That's what you want? Okay. All right. I'll go through my hobby. Because I've been doing a fair bit, guys. So this is, you're like, what the hell is this? This
Whoa.
is, this weekend, I'm doing the final campaign battle. So it's,
Nice.
this is it. This is the final multiplayer battle. We should have 7 people there using one of my crazy maps where people are all over the place.
Mhm.
And these are the shards. So this is the Ilithari shards that people have been collecting. And I added a couple more, put them in a big pool. And it's going to have, maybe 5 or 6 shards per side. And then they've got to use them basically to claim the objective and maybe destroy the monolith that's in the center of the board. And yes, there are monoliths. And yes, I know it's ridiculous. I'm having monoliths again. It's monolith time. It's happening. Everyone's having monoliths. So yeah, these suddenly I'm like, oh yeah, I've got to paint up these bloody shard things. So yeah, I spent today just like doing all these color. I was like, let's make more different colors and have some fun with that. So I got that done, and then I've also been trying to get my farm animals done. So this is for beasts, beasts of Pocono. Suddenly I'm like, oh god, crap, I've got all this stuff to do. So I've got. I painted up some piggies. I was like, I don't want to pink pigs. Pink pigs is too modern, so I made them all spotty. I've got a belted Galloway cow in the back there for cow aficionados. I still got to paint up the dead.
Is that what it's called with the big white? Is that thing?
Yeah, it's a specific cow breed.
Okay.
It's a real thing. There's a few types of belted cow. There's a Dutch belted as well. Anyway, and I've got to paint up my dead carcasses.
I know there's poor horses and cows.
Yeah, there's a few dead cows, a few dead horses. I was showing my partner that my dead carcasses, and she's like, "Why is all the skin coming off the top? Like, surely it's the abdomen that breaks down the quickest and disintegrates. So surely it should be the skin going off there, and like up at the rib cage. That's gonna sound there for ages." I'm like, Vivian, I wasn't looking for an
anatomical.
I was looking for
decaying
realistic decaying corpse. Although I did see some decaying corpses with like cows that were like bloated on their side. I think that was the Warlord Games one, where it's actually the legs are just like up, like in a big Y shape. I'm like, okay, that's realistic, but also just looks weird, so I didn't use it. Anyway, and now I've also been painting fences. So many fences, guys. Fences.
Now, tell me these are printed and you didn't create them manually. Like
these are printed. These are printed. Yeah. These are Tables of World ones. So these are the Tables of World STL.
Yeah.
I did not make fence.
Maybe out there sorting the sticks, you'd have the sieve out, sieve some sticks.
I'm so glad they sell these as STLs, because I would not have been able to buy this many off them, because they're actually kind of expensive, to buy tabletop world gear. But yeah, so I painted them up because I needed these for Beast of Pugna as well, because you got the animal pen. Sorry. So this is an animal pen, because I worked out. Because I was trying to do it, I was trying to think, how can I do this? I was trying to look at like stone walls and stuff, and I was like, oh, these little fences will work really well, because they interdigitate, and suddenly I can just use 3 or 4, and I make a little pen.
Yeah, nice.
And then I can put my Belted Galloway in there, and that'll work really well. That'll work really well for the for one of the scenarios. Awesome. And these fences, I can then put them away after, and just like. Maybe I'll probably use them for some other terrain thing. Well, some of them, there's a lot of fences.
So you're not going to glue, you'll just do that. You won't glue it all.
No, I'm not going to glue. I'm not going to glue. I'm not going to base. Just to do it like this, they'll just sort of interlock. And then that way, because it's it just needs to be, looks nice enough on the table and functional.
Yep.
And then what's your repurpose formula there, Josh? Like what? Obviously, it's a lot of dry brushing there, is it?
So yeah, 2 layers of dry brush. I'll have Old McDonald well.
More Old McDonald well. That's good.
Oh,
Animal Farm, one of them.
Yeah. So no, guys. So I used. So it was a couple of Army speed paints like that I mixed together, and then I did a dry brush, like a power dry brush. Then I used a tone, like a shade. Another dry brush, and that was it.
Okay. Yeah.
I picked out the ropes and stuff, picked out some of the chains, but that's all it is. And I think that's the end of my farm update. So
That is really nice. That is good.
that's my hobby. And that was a bumper hobby crop for Josh.
That was a good lot hobby.
It was a week and a half, I guess, since I last was on here. I'm not renovating my house, so I got plenty of time.
Yeah. I'll just jump into mine quickly because it wasn't actual hobby, but it was, and this is what we just talked about before. I just got to shout out, should have done at the beginning of the show, the Old World Behemoths. If you haven't listened to their last episode, they did a bit of a preview of what they were going to be using this weekend, which was last weekend now. So they were officially the first beta alpha, whatever you want to call it, testers of the Old World Rankings tournament system, and they used it for their doubles on the weekend. So they sent me a couple of pics. I think Silver Dave might have been there. Mostly went okay. There was like a couple of little issues, but I think they didn't use they didn't have to fall back to their Excel sheet, so everything was scored through it, straight into Old World Rankings, and they said, I gave them a big thank you, but they also said, it worked really well, and I can't thank them enough for giving it a go, I guess, especially because originally I was going to go there, and then when I ended up going to Fiji, I was like, I'm not going to be here for the first weekend it gets used. I'm going to be on a plane. So hence, I was very busy last week making sure it would work, at least to the point where it wouldn't have any major issues. And it delivered. So hopefully this week we'll use it as well. I'll just apologize and say thanks as well to all the patrons and everyone that haven't done as much hobby. It is all coming out with this. Once it's out, I'll be back onto painting miniatures, I promise. But this is taking a bit of my time.
This is so good.
For the moment,
This is so worth
but
it.
it's nearly there. And expect general availability will be in the next couple of weeks for sure, but you'll hear a lot more about it as that gets closer, I guess. So that's been my hobby, but it was pretty cool to see that the guys used it, and we're using it for ours, and I think Josh using his, so should be good.
Yeah, I'm planning to.
Yep, cool.
Nice.
I'll
just import my list, so give me a sec. If you guys want to.
Right. I've got I'm gonna pop this up. So not Matt, pop this in the chat stream.
Ooh.
I think
that's
this is the army
against.
you'll be playing against, Gomo. You said this will all be painted by this weekend. It's a fair bit to paint. Oh my god.
It's fair bit to paint.
Matt's had he's had high
These
elves
are
in
all
the past,
beautiful.
So now this is all
Original fifth
ed
stuff.
That is. It's very nice.
Yeah. Very Oldhammer army. Beautiful. Dragon. Oh, so good. There you go. That's a sneak peek. You're up against.
Cool. I can. Do you want me to bring my list up?
Sure.
I might just do game view. Yeah, I'll do game view. Sorry. Because of I'm just claiming laziness. Well, not laziness, but just I'm not painting any new stuff. So I've just decided. Plus, I'm TOing. I sort of thought I don't want to take anything too crazy new that I don't know how to do without much brain power. So I am basically bringing the Wild Herd again. But I did some changes because the comp is so close to Oldhammer in terms of the 800 point cap for characters and all that, I didn't have to change a lot, but I did change a little bit from my last one just to see how that goes. Just a couple of different things. So I've got the two Great Brave Shamans, both level 4s. My main general guy has the Chalice of Dark Rain, so obviously stop shooting, half shooting, and no war machines return. But I did also squish in the Arch Lightning Rod. Now he has to roll at 8 on that, I guess. But if I do get it off, at least stop some flyers for a turn. But other than that, his Demonology, he's there to sort of buff the Gore unit, stuff like that. And shoot Voltide, obviously. And then I've got my Flying Voltide guy and Elementalism, same as last time. I think it's exactly the same. The Primal Warhorde that you have to get, I think they always are ambushes. So I left the ambushing on here, even though our missions probably don't really need them. But they're there. And then because of some of the points moving around, I had a few more points, so I buffed the gore units a bit bigger now. 30. Scourge of the Burdens, the reserve move, but this time I've gone the anti-stomp banner as well on that unit. And then just the 15 Ungors, the ambushes on them, Razor Gore, 4 Dragon Ogres, 7 Harpies, Herdstone, and the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. So that's all the same, basically. So,
nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably it is a, it's a pretty stock standard wild herd, I guess, but with my Dragon Ogres because I love them. So, yeah. But I think I probably got better magic items than I took to Oldhammer. I think these would be more usable, if you know what I mean, than what I think there was a couple of items I didn't even use Oldhammer because I forgot one of them, and then one of them never, I think that Staff of Quietude or whatever it's called, it just never came up. The one that dispels remains in play, like nothing. And now it might come up this weekend and I'll be like, damn it, I should have had it. But anyway, that's what it is.
Just technical issues all the time. All right, and let me share my screen and then we should be good to go. Because I had too many files called the exact same thing. Funnily enough, Seaguard.
Seaguard.
And I'm like, that's got my Seaguard list. So just give me 1 sec. I'll bring this up. All right. At the stage.
Have I seen? Oh, no. I've seen some of these, but I can't remember which one it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you've probably seen this. I was talking about it before. So this is trying to be the most filth list that Seaguard can get. It's not very filth, but it should go okay, I think. So again, this is using the 800 points allowance, which I think might actually help Seaguard a little bit. But anyway, I'm running a Noble on a Griffin, full plate armor, Seed of Rebirth, Talisman of Protection, just running a great weapon. I'm running another Noble, who would have thought. Again, full plate armor is going to be the BSB with Battle Banner. So that's the one that gives you D3 to combat result. He's going to be running the Seed of Rebirth, the Charm Shield, also Pure of Heart. On top of that, I'm running a Stormweaver level 3 on a Unicorn with the Silvery Wand to give me an extra spell. Seed of Rebirth, running Elementalism. I wasn't too sure what to run.
Because you were going like dark or something with that.
Yeah, I was going dark and demonology, but there's so many.
Good on that.
Yeah. I just figured it's going to give me a little bit more. It depends on what I roll, but it's going to be.
But elementalism is the one that you probably always roll up at least 2 that you're going to use at least.
Yeah. Well, that's the hope. That's definitely the hope.
So can you only cast 3? Is that how that works, or like?
Yeah.
With the okay, yeah.
And unfortunately, with Stormweaver, they don't get the reroll. Which kind of sucks compared to your standard high elves. So I was almost thinking about getting the reroll item, but then I was like, it just came down to points, and it was very tight with 800 points. But anyway, so on top of that, I'm running 20 Sea Guards, running everything that I can just to buff these guys up, and I've got the Monster Hunters Tapestry. So we'll see how these guys go. They should be all right with Monster Hunter's Tapestry, so at least, might give them a little bit more survivability. 15 Ships Company. I was going to run these guys Skirmish, but I thought, nah, I won't. I'll bring them back just to try and give them a bit of combat res. But, yeah, we'll see how they go. 15 Shadow Warriors. So these guys are going to be taking ambushes, and then the champ's going to have the Lawmaster's Cloak. So... hopefully a little bit of shenanigans with the Shadow Warriors. They're not my favorite unit out there, but yeah, I've only got so many choices in core. Running a Sky Cutter and 2 Frostheart Phoenixes. So, yeah.
So do they do the old, I've never seen them yet. So do they do like that -1 buff thing or whatever they used to do in 8th or whatever it was?
No, it's got strike last to whoever you with base contact with. But yeah, they're not too bad. The old Frosts. Fire Phoenix isn't that great, but they're okay. The Frosties. Again, you've only got so many choices, but I reckon it's an all right list. It's maneuverable.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's got some shenanigans you can do.
Yeah.
You can move a unit.
What does the Lawmaster's Cloak do, sorry?
Just defense against magic missile. You get the
it is. Okay, yeah, so it's magic
4-up ward, I think.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just because they're so old to magic missiles, they're just gonna
6 points,
yeah. Just even the old fireball's just gonna be deleting half your units. I'm like, I need something. Because they are quite expensive for guys with bows.
You can your army can redeploy that whole unit. Hey, any of them. Do something. Yeah, okay.
Yes. And I wanted something. I was going to go Seaguard that was quite shooty, but I just don't think it's the army that's worth it. They just can't shoot enough. You know, some of those shooting armies are quite strong. I just don't think they've got it. Even with the character builds, with the Silver Sword, that and the Seafarer Bow, whatever it is, I still don't think it's worth it. You just sink too many points in for shooting, and just anyway.
Yeah, interesting. See how it goes. Cool. I think that's it. That's our week.
Because you grudged as well, aren't you, Andrew? Who were
against
you
the Silverest of Daves?
Oh, wow.
Taking the most meta Bretonian list you've ever seen is just disgusting. We've shared lists with each other, and then Dave's just a big dirty cheater. So if I lose, it's because he's a big dirty cheater. I'll say it right now.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, he's certainly not above it, so it doesn't surprise me in any way.
Nah. Dave's actually got a pretty good list. I think it's good. It's good. I'll get creamed, but yeah, it's good.
Cool. Yeah, we still. Well, I haven't added Dave's to the tournament, and we still have to add. I think there's Chris Laverick. I think he's the one coming up from Sydney. He's got Skaven.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't got your list on there, Andrew, and I haven't got Jason's Bartholomew. I'm not even sure what Jason's bringing because he's got he's definitely got Bratz, but I'm not sure. I can't remember what he said. Oh, he's got dwarves too, so I'm not sure what he's bringing. He probably has.
I'll load mine up. I've been a bit slack in that department. I'll try to get on.
That's it. I mean, they're the only ones cams are in there. Why does it say view?
Sweet.
It's not ticked. That's okay. So there's just a couple there that you need to chase up. But I mean, it wasn't due to Friday or something because we're just leaving it to last minute, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I guess we'd probably be nice to chase them up though if everyone else wants to see the other lists, so I can just open it up. I guess we should do that. I'll try to chase them up. Okay, cool. Well, I think we'll love you guys and leave you and shut off episode 131 of Old World Fanatics. You guys got anything else you wanted to shout out? Or
no,
good?
Not really.
I think next week we'll cover our experiences running a tournament and obviously trying to play at the same time. So that will be
next week's in 5 days.
Maybe Dave can come on when he wins it and takes it out.
Oh yeah,
it's a trophy.
That's it.
Yeah, we should just get him on as a guest and let him talk.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that'd be really good. Yeah, we will see you Sunday, Dave. Yeah, so anyway, well, thanks a lot for listening to our Players Pack chat and our hobby and, going through some of these lists for Sunday. If you like what you hear and you want to support the show, please check us out. Like, subscribe on YouTube, leave some comments, join the Patreon over on patreon.com/oldworldfanatics. But most importantly, keep playing Old World, rolling dice, painting some minis, and turn up next week when we chat Broadmeadow Brawl next Monday.
Getting the effort out of your hobby as much as enjoyment into it. Oh, no, I stopped that up.
There you go. You did it. Love it. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good week.
Yeah.
Bye.